Are you frustrated with your automotive conquest efforts? And by conquest efforts, I mean selling cars to people who are not yet your customers. Do you find yourself in the same dead end, frustrated month after month, constantly reverting back to marketing to your existing customers to make your numbers? Are you tired of paying for conquest programs that cost a fortune and that just don't provide any traction? What if I showed you today one thing that would change everything about the way you sell cars to people outside your database? One simple change that would just supernaturally unlock the key to your conquest success and get you to sell cars like hotcakes to people who haven't bought from you yet. Would you like to know that one thing? Hi, my name is Sean Casey and I'm the co-founder of Turbo Marketing Solution. And if you're frustrated with the idea of selling cars to people outside your database, trust me, I know exactly how you feel. Before knowing this one thing, I was just as frustrated as you are now. Now here's the cool thing. Knowing this one thing allowed me to help hundreds of dealers of all size and manufacturers throughout North America sell more cars each month for over 12 years. And in the process, I had the privilege of working with forward-thinking dealers like Josh Tobin, the king of cars in Las Vegas, when he had his show on A&E. I had the opportunity to build over 1,800 automotive sales funnels and captured hundreds of thousands of leads for car dealers. I also edited 2,500 automotive videos who generated millions of views. I also became, in the process, the #1 Wix Pro designer on the planet, Wix being a company with more than 100 million users in over 180 countries around the world. As you can see, this one thing changed my life and allowed me to help so many people over a decade. But it wasn't always like that, trust me. Let me tell you how I discovered this one thing. I have to say I have always been an avid student of sales, marketing, and the car business in general. I'm on a lifelong journey to learn everything I can about what moves people to take action, how to influence people, and how to use media and technology to help dealers sell more cars. People around me would probably call it an obsession. I believe the car business is the heart and soul of our economy. When a person or a family is blessed with the right vehicle, it has such a positive impact on their lives, and in the process creates so many jobs for so many people that it makes me proud to be part of the process. So I had a dream to own the most exciting automotive marketing agency in the world and be the conduit between hundreds of car dealerships and people and facilitate communications between manufacturers and vehicle shoppers. But I rapidly discovered that the car business was also a jungle, as you know, with dozens of manufacturers, portals, publications, and thousands of new and used car dealers all competing for the attention of the 7 to 9% of the population in the market for a vehicle with millions of dollars at stake. Competition was fierce, expensive, and big wins almost impossible. I realized I had no choice. I had to be the best to have a chance to help my dealers. So I decided I was going to learn absolutely everything I could about direct mail, email marketing, digital marketing, social media, and video marketing. That knowledge did give me a slight edge, but it just wasn't enough to make a huge difference in the number of leads I would generate for my dealers. So I learned more about advanced targeting method, avatar profiling, neuro-linguistic programming, and other ninja-style persuasion techniques. These again gave me an additional edge over my competition, but not provided that silver bullet I was looking for to dramatically increase the leads I would generate for our dealers. At that point, I think I started to feel probably like you feel now. I felt frustrated. I felt in a dead end. I felt like it didn't matter what strategies I would combine, how large was the marketing investment, how crazy cool were the designs, the videos, and the creatives, or how exciting the concepts were. I was still only just getting a tidbit better results than my competitors. And now, don't take me wrong, that slight edge allowed me to open many doors with many dealers. Every growth-focused owner and general manager I met was also looking for an additional edge over their competitors. But I wasn't going to be satisfied with just good enough. It's around that time that I stumbled on an email from an internet marketer I was following who strongly recommended a small book by Dan Kennedy. For those of you who don't know who Dan Kennedy is, suffice to say he is a direct marketing and copywriting legend whose marketing helped sell billions with a B of dollars of goods and services. I bought the book and just devoured it in a few hours. One quote that really caught my attention was this one in chapter 1 where the author talks about the cluelessness and vulnerability of many marketers that he attributes to marketing incest. Here's the actual quote from the book. When you go into whatever business you're in, you probably looked around at what everybody else in the business was doing and copied it. Gradually, you've tried to do it better, but not radically different, just better. So you have everybody in an industry standing in a circle, looking inwards at each other, ignoring anyone and anything outside the circle, and it's incestuous. And it works just like real generational incest. Everybody slowly gets dumber and dumber and dumber. The book goes on to explain that salvation comes by turning around and looking outside of the circle for answers. I couldn't believe how precisely the quote described exactly what I had been trying, which was to do things better than my peers in the circle. I wasn't doing things differently, just slightly better. So I wasn't experiencing drastically different results, just slightly better. That same day, I started on a quest to look at everything I was doing for my dealers and see if I could reverse it, turn it on its head, upside down, inside up, and see if there was an opportunity I had been blind to. And there it was, in plain sight, the one thing that would change everything about the way we market cars for our dealers here at Turbo. I think if I'm totally honest, I had probably heard it before, but without my openness to look at everything in a new light, I probably hadn't recognized it as the epiphany I was about to have. Now here it is. Every manufacturer, portal, publication, automotive marketing company, and the thousands of new and used car dealers in North America were all advertising to the same 7 to 9% of the population in the market for a vehicle. Everybody was fighting for the attention of a small percentage of the pie, driving the price of traditional ads and pay-per-click ads up, while the other 91% of the population was just up for grabs. In Dan Kennedy's words, every dealer was looking inside the circle at the 7 to 9% of vehicle shoppers in market for a vehicle, trying to be slightly better than the others at capturing their share of the business. Now, I was finally looking outside the circle at the 91% of the vehicle owners who would change their vehicle, but didn't think they could. This one thing alone would increase by 900% the size of the pie I would have to market to. And I would be alone talking to these prospects. Now, you might be listening to this and thinking, well, if a non-intender is not in the market for a vehicle, why would I try to sell him a car? And you would be right in just about any other industry. If somebody bought a hot tub, for example, in the past 12 months, you probably have very little chances to sell him or her a new one. But the car business is very different. You see, the car business is the most beautiful business in the world because everybody would change their vehicle today for something bigger, better, faster, more fuel efficient, with more cargo space or more technology. They just don't know they can. What's keeping prospects thinking they can't change their vehicle is their misperception of one or more of these 5 friction points: price, payment, cash required, credit, and trade value. Non-intenders don't believe it's the best time to get the best price. They don't believe the payment will fit in their budget. They believe too much cash will be required to complete the transaction. They don't know if they will qualify for credit, and they don't know if they will get enough for their trade. But if you create content that changes non-intenders' beliefs regarding these 5 misperceptions, you will instantly move them into market as hot buyers, and your dealership will get first kick at the can. Can you see how changing this one thing in your mindset and start focusing your dealership's effort on the 91% of non-intenders could dramatically improve your success at Automotive Conquest? Can you see how jumping in the blue ocean, full of fish, and with little competition can give your dealership an edge over fighting in the red and bloody ocean with all your competitors fighting for the same small 7 to 9% of population in the market for a car? Now, as you know, most prospects, intenders or non-intenders, will most likely already have a model on their radar, one that they prefer or that they are more inclined or favorable to. If that model is not part of the vehicles you sell, there's very little marketing can do at this stage to influence the prospect's mind while he or she is thinking about the price, payment, cash required, or their ability to qualify for credit for the model they desire. But look at the 5th point of friction, the trade. That's your key to conquest success. The prospect's desire to get an exciting offer for the vehicle they're driving now opens the door wide open for you to engage in a conversation the prospect is willing to have. Why? Because the trade is the only one of the 5 friction points that doesn't involve the model they have on their mind. It's the neutral point of friction, and the one that doesn't put your dealership in conflict with what they want. Find a way to provide prospects with an easy way to get an exciting offer for their current vehicle, and you will be talking to more conquest prospects than your heart desires. And that's how our Quest for Trade program was born. I'm sure now you can understand why this one thing has completely revolutionized my business and hundreds of dealerships I had the privilege of collaborating with. It's the key that can unlock your automotive conquest success and provide you with more deals each month than you can dream of. Now that you know the one thing, all you need is to master the art of talking to non-intenders, and that's something I would love to have the privilege of helping you with. Well, I hope you enjoyed the content and the tactic I just reviewed with you in this video. This tactic is part of the system I use here at Turbo Marketing to help dealers and automotive sales professionals sell more cars each month. But be careful not to fall in the trap of chasing single tactics as your means to grow your sales. Tactics are only tactics if they're not part of an overarching system supporting an overall strategy. Your goal should not be to chase the latest tactics, but to build for yourself a machine that will consistently and predictably help you turn total strangers into paying customers. Now, I'll be honest, putting together all the pieces of the ideal customer acquisition machine, measuring conversions at every step of the sales funnel, tweaking it and optimizing it is not an easy task. That's why I decided to create a program where you now have the ability to work with my team and me to build your own customer acquisition machine, one that will predictably and consistently turn total strangers into paying customers and raving fans. Imagine having not only the blueprint for building your machine, but access to in-depth knowledge about every stages, access to the same technology I use, access to the same copywriters to write your scripts, access to the same video editors to produce your content, and access to the same toolbox of tactics to experiment within your system. Imagine having access to like-minded individuals from the car business who are also building and tweaking their own customer acquisition machine. Imagine being able to ask them questions and compare your metrics with theirs so you can see if and where there is room for improvements. No more guessing, no more trying to figure it out, but only black and white answers for every question you might have while putting your customer acquisition machine and tweaking it to perfection. If you would like to have a conversation with me to see if this program might be something you would like to explore, and if you would be a good fit for the program, I invite you to schedule a strategy call using the button underneath this video. During the call, I will review with you your current customer acquisition processes so we can find together areas of growth and opportunities for yourself and your dealership. For this reason, when you book your strategy call, make sure you have a few minutes to answer a couple of questions about you and your store. I want to get on this call with you prepared, having done my due diligence and ready to provide you with some insights that you'll be able to use immediately to grow your sales. Whether you're a good fit or not for the program, I want our time together to be of the utmost value for you. Now, to avoid wasting your time or mine, here's a fair warning. If you're lazy, uncommitted, and not absolutely serious about building your customer acquisition system and changing your life and your income forever, don't register for the strategy session. First, you'll hate the process because I hound and breathe down the neck of the people who are accepted in the program to make sure they get results fast. There is also a substantial investment of time and money required to build a proper customer acquisition system, and my commitment to the people in the program is that I will bring every resource I have at my disposal to get them from where they are now to where they need to be in the shortest amount of time. But that requires dedication on their part, the willingness to do the work and follow the recipes, to study the content, and to do the required action steps at every stage. For these reasons, if you're only floating the idea of a customer acquisition machine around in your mind, don't book the strategy call. We will both be wasting our time. But if you are serious about tackling your customer attraction needs once and for all, then go for it and book your call now, and let's see if you might be a good fit for the program. If you're not, I will let you know so you can pursue other options. I might even suggest several opportunities and scenarios you might want to consider as alternatives to the program. What's important is that I will have had the opportunity to bring you value and insights and help you reach your automotive sales goals in one way or another. We will also be forever a new connection in the car business and maybe even become friends. That's what's most important for me. If you enjoyed the presentation and want more content like this, I encourage you to follow me on Facebook under 30 Days to Sell Cars, to subscribe to the podcast by the same name, to check out our YouTube channel and follow Turbo Marketing and me, Sean Casey, on Instagram and IGTV. On that note, I wish you a great day. I hope you crush your monthly goals. And like I love to say, let's sell some cars.